Okay, time for another daily vernal, right? My video journal here. Yeah, I know. It's probably called a vlog, right? But I guess the difference I'm denoting between vlog and vernal is the vernal tends to be a bit more personal. That's all. That's what I'm saying. More like a diary, if you will. A viary, a video diary. No, we're not going there. Anyway, today what I wanted to talk about was how important music is in my life. And we're taking a different camera angle. So normally I have my phone hooked up on the studio wall there. So on my studio wall, you can see I got a microphone and I've got my GoPro camera mount right up there. And then I have a phone mount there. So I've been sitting here. It's easy that way. I just pop up the phone. But today I put a tripod on the other side of the room so that we can talk about music with my studio here in the background. And music is incredibly important to me, like incredibly. It just my whole life. And I mean, I know there's a lot of people like me. There's a lot of people that are just huge music fans, and that music has just been a big part of their lives since they were kids. And when I was young, my parents used to listen to a lot of my dad, really. My dad's the big music fan. My mom used to just listen to AM radio and whatever was on the radio. So I got to hear a lot of like the popular music of the day. But my dad was a music fan back in the day. I mean, he's still a music fan, but do you have anybody in your life like this that listened to music up to a certain point and then just like went, fuck it, everything past this date or this time period is bullshit? And I think that's when a lot of people are in their mid to late 20s. Like everything past that, they're like, young people music. You know what I mean? And I am 51 now, and I use YouTube Music. I know everybody uses Spotify, but I pay for YouTube because I watch mostly YouTube. I love YouTube. That's like my TV. I don't have TV. I have YouTube. Sorry, I'm on my guitar throne, and I think it's creaking a little bit, so I'll try and stay still here. But YouTube Music gave me my year-end review and said that my age was like 20 or something like that. I listen to a lot of modern bands, like so. Some of my favorite modern bands. Before we get into my history of music, just so give you an idea of where I'm at now. I listened to a lot of Donovan Woods last year. I was going through the separation from my wife, our marriage coming apart, and Donovan Woods is a Canadian artist that does a lot of like sappy songs. And I don't know if he's been through a divorce, but he sure writes a lot of breakup songs, and that really helped me through. Gigi Perez is another just amazing. She's a female artist. She's got a great right hand, as I like to say. Hey, don't get dirty. Great right hand meaning her strumming hand. She's got great strums on the guitar. She's a like acoustic guitar player, and she's just got great rhythm. Um, but other bands I've been really into Turnstile, which is a younger band, hardcore band. I've heard them described as hardcore meets dream pop. A band named Pixel Grip I've been really into lately. I watch this YouTube channel called KEXP. It's a radio station in Seattle, and I find a lot of new music on there that I really like. Um, so yeah, I've been listening to I listen to across the spectrum, right? I could be listening to Tribe Called Quest, like hip hop, one day, and then be into Johnny Cash for 3 or 4 days and just listening to that nonstop. I heard the Doors mentioned a little while ago, and then I got listening to the Doors for a few days again. I'm really open to everything, and I think that's helped me continue to be a music fan because I'm open to everything from like some country to techno and house music to rock to alternative to punk. You name it. Like if it's good, I'm open to it. I'll listen to all of it. So when I was a kid, though, my dad he listened to a lot of old country, like Statler Brothers in Alabama. So I got into old country. He listened to a lot of 50s. That was his thing. So like Buddy Holly, Little Richard, right? Like that era of music was huge for me. The Everly Brothers, all these bands. Like it was huge to me to listen to all those bands. And then his number one favorite band, which is also one of my favorite bands to this day, Creedence Clearwater Revival. John Fogerty, amazing, right? Just classic rock and roll from the 70s, right? Just fantastic. And it really helped to shape my musical tastes. And then in high school in the 90s, I was into what a lot of people were into, grunge, the number one, right? Grunge for sure, but anything alternative, right? Everything from Ministry to Nirvana. And Nirvana really, Kurt Cobain really shaped an important part of my life. I will say to you that all of this is because of Kurt Cobain. How so, Ryan? How? So when I heard Nirvana, I realized two things. Number one, Kurt was not a great guitar player or a great singer. And number two, you don't have to be a great guitar player or a great singer to produce something phenomenal, something that connects with people, something that has emotion and meaning and elicits a visceral response. So I first took guitar lessons when I was 12. My parents put me in guitar lessons, and they were trying to teach me crap like Camptown Races, Tom Dooley, like these, because I'm learning to read music, and it's all very simple, and I hated it. And this is one of my mom's favorite stories. I used to record. I'd play through for like 5 minutes because I hated practicing guitar because I hated what I was playing, and then I would record it on a tape recorder and I'd play it back, so my parents would think I was practicing. And that didn't last long. I hated it, and I left guitar behind. And then when I was around 19, a friend of mine introduced me to guitar tablature. And think of guitar tablature like music, sheet music for dummies. It basically is just 6 lines, so like the 6 guitar strings with a number that tells you what fret, like put your finger here, put your finger here. And then he taught me a power chord. And if you don't know anything about guitar, a power chord is a certain shape of a chord, but that chord can be made in any note. So if you can play this power chord, you can play an A or a B or a C chord. You just move it around on the neck. So if you can play a power chord, technically, it won't sound the same like maybe on an acoustic guitar with like all the strings ringing, that kind of thing, like an open chord, as they say. But you could essentially play almost anything now. And I fell in love with guitar. I ended up getting a guitar, and the fact that I could just teach myself, and I would get guitar magazines and I would learn like the songs out of the guitar magazines. So first thing I started learning was Nirvana. And I have a portrait of Kurt Cobain right there on my arm. And under here, hard to see through the mix of tattoos, but I have the sheet music, the notes for the very first song I learned, which was Love Buzz by Nirvana. And I ended up learning all the Nirvana songs, which taught me a lot of skills. It taught me a lot of chords and timing and strumming. And one of the things I've been able to do since I picked up a guitar is as soon as I started playing, I could just sing along. And a lot of my friends were like, how did you learn how to sing and play at the same time? And I was like, you can't? Like, it just came natural to me. In fact, I almost found it harder to learn the song on guitar only without singing. So that's just something I've always been able to do. And I'd say within 6 months of learning to play the guitar, like picking up some basic skills, I was already writing my own songs. Like the first goal in my head was like, let's learn some shit so we can make some shit. And I am such a music fan that I felt like I couldn't stay on the sidelines in music, if that makes sense. Like I never understood like the armchair athlete, like the person that watches like football on a Sunday but doesn't play football. Like you love football but you don't want to participate in it. Like that never computed to me. That never made sense. And I love music so much that I wanted to make it. And for years and years, I've made all kinds of guitar-based music, like singer-songwriter kind of stuff. And then pandemic hit, and I do what most people do is like I develop a hobby and I stay home for months on end. And because things were cheap during the pandemic and we all had a little extra money, I got into electronic music. I had always wanted to know how to make electronic music, but I just didn't understand it. So I start watching YouTube because I got all day. I'm watching YouTube, I'm watching gear videos. Okay, this gear does this does this. And over the course of a year, I buy and sell like 20 pieces of gear, little synthesizers, groove boxes, drum machines, all this electronic stuff until I get to the studio I have now. And my studio is a mix of acoustic instruments, my guitars over here, and my electric guitars, and basically drum machines and effects. But my studio now is equipped to make everything from electronic-based music to a blend, things like, Nine Inch Nails or Ministry, think like more industrial, like a blend of electronic and rock style music, to acoustic music with my stuff back here. And hard to see, but over on the shelf, my buddy Keith even got me a trumpet because I love brass instruments and I'm learning to play the trumpet. But music has just been an enormous part of my life. It's gotten me through tough times, just like all of you. I know you're saying the same thing, right? And when I was young, I used to go to a lot of concerts. I went to Lollapalooza and all the big shows when I was a teenager, right? All the big festivals. I've seen literally hundreds of bands in concert over the years, and music has just been a huge driving force in my life. And I don't know what I would do without music, especially through the difficult times. But yeah, I thought I'd talk about how I got into music, how important it is. I also have a YouTube channel where I post all of my live performances, all the music that I write myself. I have some cover songs I've played on there too. And I'll put a link in the description below, so you can check out some of my music if you care. But yeah, this really is my happy place. There are three happy places I have in life: the skate park, my gym, and my studio. And if I could just be in one of those three places all the time, be as happy as a pig in shit, as they say. All right, that's it. I just wanted to talk a little bit about music, how important it is to me, what a music fan I am across all genres, and just how amazing this hobby, I'll say, because I'm not a professional musician, right? This hobby of making music has been for me. It's just been one of the most fulfilling experiences of my life. And I hope music has a place in your life too.